Hello again. So I'm actually back again with another video. So today I'm just gonna talk, the more honest you are or truthful you are, they will subject you as any angry person to avoid accountability. These things happen a lot, but I've never thought of making a video about it. So I'm always subjected as someone who's actually angry or someone who's an issue whatsoever, and I'm like, I was going within myself. I'm like, the thing is, I sometimes question myself a lot. Like, am I really angry? Am I really, is there anything that is actually wrong with me? Probably I would go within myself, question myself, whatsoever. But it's a good thing because I like reflecting on myself. I like being better. I don't like being a beta person. I don't like operating from that kind of energy, being mean for no reason. So I realized the more I've started standing out for myself in any manner, because they want me to be the good girl. I mean, they want that good girl. I mean, bad girl. Or even if you're a guy, like a good boy. I mean, is there anything that is actually good? The reason why they say you are a good girl is because you're not questioning whatsoever they say. You'll be like, yep person, because you are scared of uh having your own opinion. You are scared of being rejected whenever you're having your own opinion. They like the fact that whenever you didn't love yourself, you were just, yes, you were so scared of standing out for yourself. Even if they were saying something that you don't like, whatever that is actually mean, it can be whenever someone is actually mean towards you, like do you know those people who make mean comment, and then whenever you're calling them out, they'll be like, oh, you're so sensitive, you're so this and that, and it offending, like it's offensive, and they know that they won't like that joke when it's turned back to them, and they have issue with you whenever you're calling out for them. Because why? They'll be like, you're angry, you're bitter, you so whatsoever. The more truthful you are, the more you stand up for yourself, the more you love yourself. They will say you are an angry person, you are this and that. They won't even look at themselves. And those people are actually wrong people to be around, because you don't want your truth to be subjected as something that they try to make it as if you are the one who's actually having issue. No, it's not only that. As a black woman, people were saying things like black people are loud, black people are this, black people are that, and you know what? That's not true. The thing is, every race is actually loud. It's just that they don't want us to be they don't want us to be ourselves. It has nothing to do with actually race whatsoever. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that they find you being yourself um it's something that they are not ready. I won't say it's not ready only. It's more like they are being threatened by you being yourself. They're threatened by you being your authentic self. Because the more louder you are, the more likely that people will listen to you. The more louder that you are, the more likely that you won't even stand for any motherfucker who's saying something that is mean, because you know this person is mean, and you question them, what do you mean by that? It can be something like, do you know people who actually make a sexually comment, mean comment, like sexual harassment, that sometimes be like, you know, we'll be like, no, this motherfucker is mean, and then be like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean by that? And I've noticed every time whenever I ask someone who actually makes some comment that is mean, I'm like, what do you mean by that? And then, or maybe I'm like, can you repeat that? They won't repeat it again. You know why? They know what they meant. They knew that they were being mean. They knew that I hate them. It's just that I want to know, what do you mean by saying that? And they'll be like, they act like, and then not repeat that and change the subject. They knew that they were mean. They knew that whatever you said is being mean. It's like a lot of time that I've been told that I'm angry. Like, whenever I'm being expressive, whenever I'm just being myself, I'm like, people are not in a phase or in their life whereby they actually meet themselves. So they're operating very surface level, anything that society, to the point that um there is actually a girl, I know this is actually toxic, but I was like, okay, I understand where she is coming from. She said something like she want a man that is muscular, that is masculinity. um there is actually a gang, into gang, guns and whatsoever, and she's just giving me Rihanna aura. Like I was like, oh, this is Rihanna. She really want a gang, a gangster, masculine. You know what? When we have daddy issues, you tend to fantasize about men who just need to stay the fuck away from them. She was like, I need a man who have gun, who's in a gang, who's a mob, whatsoever. And I was like, okay, I get it. It's her perspective or whatsoever. And I was like, and then the guy got offended. Not a guy that is actually dating the girl. The guy, he felt like what we actually, he's like, the guy is extremely like, like I would say he don't love himself, because of the way he actually find this kind of thing offensive. Because the thing is, people are allowed to express themselves, even if you don't agree with them. You will be like, okay, they're expressive, they're being opinionated, and they were like, okay, that's your opinion, and then you move. The other guy got offended to the point that he commented like, yeah, you want bad guy. I'm like, dude, yes. Like, it's like people want to be offended all the time. They're just trying to search things to be offended, because this guy is going through with a social norm that a good guy is this and this and this and that. A good guy is supposed to be opening doors. For me, that is actually bare minimum. It's another way of being manipulated by men. If you know what exactly do you want from a man, for me, I know that I want a partner that emotionally, mentally, spiritual, financially, sexually is connected within themselves. Not only that, they have to match. Like when I say match, they have to be in the same wavelength as I am. Like I don't need to find, like I'm so tired of being like, there's loneliness, there's aloneliness. It's more like there are more like aloneliness, because of coming. It's not like I'm not available. I don't have people who are actually available to me. I do have, it's just that I don't have those people that I can share a lot of things that I want to share. I don't have those people that I can have a conversation that is actually deep, to the point that I feel like I'm being understood. You don't have to agree with. The thing is, with understanding someone, you can understand them, right? But it doesn't mean just because you understand them, you won't disagree with them. Like, okay, I understand you, but I still disagree with you. You know, it's something like that. I don't have people that actually understand, like understanding me. I just have to keep things to myself, which cause a loneliness rather than loneliness. This is actually a difference between loneliness and aloneliness. So this guy, like, you, how can you get offended by someone that you can tell where they are? People, the things that they say, even how they describe sex or how they want sex, you can tell this person, okay, this is where they are mentally, emotionally, with their soul level. And okay, you pass. Because, like, I feel like you, like, it's the same thing with people who actually like quickly sex. Like, how can you enjoy quick sex? Like, what? Like, okay, I'm like, okay, and then I pass. I just know the person is not yet have done shit away. You can just tell this person is not even there yet within the love within themselves. They are just going around. They are still in energy whereby they are scared of being themselves. They are still operating from a lot of social norms which are not good for anyone. I'll be lying when I say men, when, like, I'll be lying when I say every gender was not affected by social norms, because we all were. Like, we were not allowed to express it, especially women. Whenever a woman is being expressive, like I was even told by the man that I consider my father, he said, you will never get married. I was like, why? It was like, and I was like, why? He didn't answer me, and I had to find out on my own. And I was like, oh wow, I understand why he said that. because he felt like I'm too smart. And I've never considered myself as too smart, because I still find myself like, okay, it's just that whenever you have a lot of spiritual growth, spiritual power, spiritual awareness, you tend to have a lot of awareness. Whenever you're making decision, you tend to question anything that is sneaky, anything that anyone who's trying to be slicky with you, you question them. Whenever someone is trying to come at you with the energy that you don't like, and you question them, they find that offensive. That's why that man who consider my father said that he knew that I just cannot allow you to pass or get in my energy with a shit energy, because I was questioning his toxicity every time when he's approaching me. It's like, my child, my child. Like, my child, how? Like, how? Maybe I came through you. Yeah, okay, not maybe. I came through you, but it doesn't mean that you were actually entitled to be in my energy just because you contributed with your sperms. Like, it doesn't give you energy to be in my energy. So I'm like, I'm so angry. No, I'm not angry. I just want you to be accountable. I just want you to know that this is what I can take. This is what I cannot take. And the more you're being honest, the more they say you are angry. The thing is, it can be like a lot of things. It can be topic about racist. It can be topic about politics. It can be topics about love. It can be topics about sex. It can be topic about spiritual growth. It can be anything. It can be any topic. But whenever you're speaking whatsoever, you're more likely things to speak something. Whenever you're being different in with your opinion, whereby your opinion comes from your soul, you're more likely to meet resistance. I'm like, I know that I'm gonna meet resistance, because I know that since I was growing up, that my most of the time my opinion is considered as something crazy or rejected, and I made peace with that. But I still continue to be myself, and the more I continue to be myself, I ended up finding my soul trap, and I was like, fuck, I was never crazy. I was never. They wanted me to believe I'm crazy, so that I would stop being me. I would stop being myself. And did I stop? No. The thing is, resistance is part of life. The fact that people are resisting you, are they because they don't want to be accountable? Because sometimes they're resisting because they just don't understand what the fuck are you saying. It's the same thing. Like, for example, if I'm looking back in my life, if someone ever told me, not just someone, they did told me, there was a girl that I was actually friend with from primary to high school. I used to say a lot of things which I didn't know where did I get that information from, which came true. And I even said one of the time when I came across this girl, she was just not humble. She was just she was fronting like a lot, and I said, you know what? I think I said this. It was just like March, and I said, this girl is gonna fail. She's gonna repeat the class, and she just looked at me, and I didn't think much into it, and it just move on, because most of the time you get download and you just don't know where did they come from, and then you move. So next day, we happened to be in the same grade. I was like, she said, wow, you are a prophecy. And I was like, what? Like, like, please. And then I moved. And I didn't care. Like, I just didn't put much into it. Like, like, like a lot of time that happened. I've never like realized I'm actually a prophetic. I was like, and I pushed it away. I resisted whatever she said. I'm like, I moved. Even I have a countless and like experience where I just said, whatever's gonna happen, what is coming, whatsoever, and I've like never put much into it. So you know why I resisted all of that? It's just because I was not ready. I was not in a phase where I actually made my soul. Just think about trying to convince someone to change. Just think about trying to think that you can change someone. You know how sick how sick that shit is. How can you make someone change? How can you make someone to view things the way you want to view? Even if you want people to grow at the same way that you are growing, it doesn't mean they will grow with you. But at the same time, I do know when it comes to accountability, people will try to defend their nonsense. They will try to defend just because they are not willing to be accountable. They don't want to be accountable because the accountability require you to be honest. They don't want to be honest. Something honest is something that it's not normal in their own way, in their own living. I like recently I was actually watching this Korean drama, and this guy, he came across one of the most challenging women in his life. And this woman was one of those women who can free-spirited and you can't tame them. He knew that, like he knew that he cannot use his money, he cannot use his status to get this woman in his life. He knew that like she's different. Even he said it like she's different. And like when he was vulnerable, was talking with his friend, he was drinking, and he said, you know what? I am not like you. I was never taught to be honest. I don't know how to be honest. So whenever someone is being honest with me, I get angry. I want to get back at them because they bruise my ego. I was like, okay. It's like he's honest. The girl was not angry. A lot of people hated her. This movie, it's a all Korean drama. It's a Hanjin. I think it's a Hanjin. A 2006 Korean drama. It's Hanjin, and this girl was well known a prostitute. So a lot of people assume just because someone is actually a prostitute, they don't have boundaries. Just because someone is a prostitute is just a subject. They have to do whatever they want with the person, which is not true. Prostitute is still a human being. They are still on that phase. That phase, I know that they will go through it probably for not for a long time. But for them, back in there, like was that movie, it was just a true story about a Kisang, a woman who were a famous prostitute who was artist too. They were not just prostitute, but they live their life through selling their body. They living their life through selling their art. When I'm saying selling their art, probably they will perform or dance, whatever. But they were just a group of people, women especially, who used to entertain people who on a chieftains. It's the chieftains or king, people who are of view as a noble people, because those girls were taken. Oh fuck! Those girls were actually taken from a low class. They were taken from low class because back in the days, people who were low class were treated awful. People who from a bloodline where is noble, whereby they're educated, whereby they come from, I don't know, but there's nonsense, that nonsense kind of perspective whereby people are treated horrible just because they are poor, you know. So those girls were taken from the young age to be trained to be dancers, to be whatsoever, whatever they're good at. But at the same time, they were well-known hoes. They were considered as hoes, prostitute. So to be a prostitute, to have that kind of mentality of knowing your worth, it was something that is considered like a lot of men were angry at her because like they were like, she need to go. Oh, she was this and that. But they knew she's a good artist. She put her effort in everything that she does, and they considered she was angry whatsoever. But there was a phase where she was angry, but most of the time I'm like, she's not angry. She's not. It's just that she's honest. She knows what she wants. She knows you, a woman who's confident, a man who's confident, who knows what she wants. You will constantly be subjected to, oh, she's boring, oh, he's boring, he's this and that. The more honest that you are, the more you know. Just because you know more, it doesn't mean you still don't have to know more. The thing is, like, people think you just because they know this information now, they don't need to have books, they don't need to study, they don't need to do research, they don't need to do something. That's on them. That's on them. Or you are just, you know, when you have to keep going. Because I like studying, being a student, it's a lifelong journey. Just because you find other people confident as something that is a threat, because confidence doesn't come just by walking like confident and shit, talking confident and shit. It can be soft, like it's soft thing, like it doesn't have like you're not being aggressive even, you are just talking slowly, you just telling them exactly what you wanted them to hear. You are just being expressive. She was so expressive in the most brilliant way, but I'm saying there was a time that she was disconnected with herself because of things that happened to her. But there was a time she's just herself, which bothered a lot of people. Her confidence was the issue. It was something a lot of people tried to silence her. They didn't understand how can a prostitute have boundaries, how can a prostitute can be this, how can a prostitute can be that, because they think the only people who are supposed to behave like that are noble people. People don't understand the confidence is coming within, and the more confident we are within yourself, the more you are angry. The more you're standing out for yourself, you're angry. The more you're taking, like, calling someone out for your BS, you are angry. The more you're doing this, the more you are yourself, I'm like, you are angry. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with society? Like, it's so fucked up. Extremely fucked up. Because we are beings. We are here to be ourselves. So if we are depriving ourselves to be ourselves, and then what is the point of being here? Because the more you are healing, letting go of things and learning, some people even to the point that they're brutal honest. The more I hear people saying word brutal honest, I'm like, I just know this person don't like truth, because there's no such a thing as brutal honest. Brutal honest is no such a thing as brutal honest. If it has to be brutal honest to you, you just need to unlearn that, because there's no such a thing as brutal honest. You're just honest. Honest is not brutal. Unlearn that. I unlearned that myself, but I've never considered myself as brutal honest. I'm just honest. And my honest, if it bother people, then it's fine. I need to stay away, because some people they treasure honesty just like I do. Honesty is everything. So you're not angry. You are not angry.